It's Tuesday, October 21st, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host here, Jace Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour, Jacob Gramegna. And did I say an hour? I meant to say an hour and a half. Let's go, Blue Jays. I'm full of coffee. I'm full of energy. I might still be a little bit drunk from last night. I'm not going to lie. What a freaking
I'm not drunk anymore.
No, you're in the hangover stage.
We're past that. I think I speak for a lot of people in the Greater Toronto area that this is a rough day at work. But sorry, Rob.
It's worth it. And he was out too. He
was. But well, I guess he is on the show.
Yeah, I got to ask him how he's feeling today because he was out. He was out with Isaac, and I was supposed to be. I'm shocked. One, you didn't go to the game with them. Maybe did you not get the invite or
no invite?
Sadly. That's very rude. That was.
I tried to meet up with them after, but the bars were too packed.
Yeah, the bars are crazy. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I was at Dublin's Calling, and there was fireworks going on inside of the bar. I don't know if you saw that. No. I'm like, how the fuck is this allowed?
No. I was at left field to watch, and I went to Cherries for the post game. It was good.
Oh, I'm so mad. They were at the Wheat Chief. That's my bar. That's my home bar, and I was at Dublin's because anyways, well, it is what it is. It is. Anyways,
fun night in Toronto. That's all it was.
Yeah, we'll see you for game one. Isaac's got to come back. Obviously, he's the good luck charm. But anyways, let's get into today's show. I know that a lot of you guys watching might not be from Toronto, but hopefully you can enjoy and relish in the victory with us because, Toronto sports teams, we don't do a lot of winning. Our last championship was 2019, so relatively
not that
recent,
long ago.
But before that,
yeah,
it's been a long time.
92, 93, 2019, and then possibly 2025.
I hope so. And zero Leafs anything moving forward. So, anyways, fun to be a Toronto fan.
World Series, baby.
That is World Series. Let's get into today's show, though. Talk about who's coming on. As you saw in the description, on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Drew Dinsick's going to be batting leadoff here. He's going to be talking some NBA futures, some NFL futures. We're going to recap what we talked about last week. That Chiefs 1 seed that he gave out, looking pretty hot. Broncos losing the wild card, also looking pretty good. Some of the no playoff ones, they were big swings, plus 470, plus 205, plus 270 on the Colts, Eagles, Niners, respectively, to miss the playoffs. I don't know if those are going to fly, but NFC's pretty tight. So you could easily get one of the Eagles or Niners missing the playoffs there, and the Colts. They're legit. They're legit. It's as simple as that. You take a swing, and sometimes you miss. Sometimes you miss, or sometimes you hit a home run, a la George Springer. After Drew, we got Josh Goldberg coming on. He is a baseball writer, and he knows a lot about the Jays. He writes for the Blue Jays Nation Network, quite frequently on Overdrive. Good listen. Excited to talk to him about the Jays, maybe what we're going to do with Bo Bichette, some of his reactions to Game 7, how hungover he is today, which I assume he probably is incredibly.
Maybe he's student of the game, master of the craft. Maybe dug into work,
Yeah, I feel like he was probably up to like 4 a.m. writing articles though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, good man. Anyways, finally close it out. We have Rob Pizzola coming on the show, he will for sure be hungover, and he will. Yeah,
Rob's an old man. Rob's gonna be hungover for sure.
Early leans, all that sort of stuff for the NFL, and then finally closing it out, we have Edgework overtime. Wee. That's like my overtime noise. We got Matt Alber, the Fade King, coming on. So fade accordingly, chat. Fade accordingly. And then Alex Moretto will be joining us as well. We got a great show for you today. Before I bring on Drew, just want to give you guys a quick reminder that today, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, our Tuesday Best Bets show for NFL on the Forward Progress HQ YouTube channel. We got our best bets. George is going to be on. G-Stack. Is it Flup on this week?
Yeah.
Flup is on. Okay, Flup is on.
As far as I know.
Flup is on, and Judah is back with the crew as well.
Oh, is Judah actually going to show up for Tuesday?
I think so. I don't know. It's a disaster. I have my notes in front of me, but I can't find them right now. Anyways, going to be a good one. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's get right into things with Drew, though. He's an NFL, NBA, and a tennis handicapper, betting analyst for NBC Sports Bet. He's also the co-host of the Deep Dive podcast, rocking some of the best hair in the game. Drew, how's it going, my friend?
It's going well. Can you guys see me okay?
Yeah, you're good. We see you.
All right.
You look great. How How you feeling? Are you an MLB fan at all? Do you watch any baseball? Were you watching?
I love the MLB postseason. Congratulations to you and your Blue Jays. You draw the Dodgers next, so sorry for your loss. But no, in general, that was an amazing game, and the postseason, just like if you care about sports at all. And you don't even have to be betting it to have like a connection to how good playoff baseball is. Like when you can have swings to the tune of 3 runs on one at bat, and every single pitch has as much championship equity as what you had in that was at the bottom of the 7th last night. Like that's as good as that's as good as it gets in sports.
Yeah,
and playoff baseball is unique in that way.
Incredible. Also, like, I know you said sorry for our loss about the Dodgers, but we've been underdogs this entire year, not even the playoffs, this entire year. I saw a tweet about our article previewing the AL East. 6 of the 7 analysts who were talking about the AL East had the Jays finishing in last. It was, I mean,
wow.
We've been underdogs the entire year.
They were right. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I know. Right. I don't know I don't know what's in the water here. I don't know what changed. Something that maybe, I don't know, Olivia Chow did with the water. Anyways, it's working. Whatever it is. Are you a Dodgers fan? I know you live on the West Coast, right? So. Are you?
I don't have any particular affinity for the Dodgers, but I do get a paper ticket for them every year because the bar I hang out at is a Dodgers bar. So it's fun to pull out the ticket and pretend like I have as much skin in the game as the lifelong fans there.
I love it.
I guess adopted fandom of the Dodgers, but it's pretty soft. And I just gotta say, I do hope the Blue Jays acquit themselves better than the Yankees did last year. That was an embarrassment by the Yankees.
I hope so. I feel like we can't really lose in this scenario in terms of like just the expectations for everything so far. We've already exceeded it by a lot. Quick question before we get into things though.
Yeah.
A Blue Jays Ohtani jersey. Can I wear that in Toronto or no?
Of course. Why not?
Okay.
I mean, if you have it, that's a collector's item.
We have one. It's hanging up in our Circle Back studio.
We actually have 2. And
we have 2.
And one of them is currently at my house.
Oh, you have? Oh, yeah.
I took it from the office.
I remember you do have one. Yeah. I think China Maniac got us those when Ohtani flopped on the Jays. Yeah.
He was a Jay for like 6 hours ish, maybe. So
if you beat him in the World Series, it'll just make it that much sweeter, and you can wear it all the time.
I love it. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully it plays at the bar. Anyways, let's talk about some futures. Let's get into things, dive into things here. Let's start with the NBA. Drew, I was talking with you a little bit earlier. I think a lot of people know this. I'm not too. I like to bet NBA props, but my wealth of NBA knowledge is very limited in terms of futures and what to expect of these teams and things of that nature. Is there anything that you look at the board as an NBA aficionado, and anything you see you like or that interests you over on FanDuel?
Sure. Betting the NBA game by game is probably it consumes me in the winter. It's kind of like it's a challenge that I like a puzzle that just you couldn't solve. Like for years and years, I was like, I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna find a way to beat this. And it's now, kind of at some point I finally fashioned an edge on sides that was largely somewhat fragile. It was almost exclusively based on just quantifying rest, and in particular player rest. And everybody out there was doing the same sort of thing of betting like against the teams on a back-to-back type of nonsense, and like that was largely priced in. But if you had a little bit longer look at how teams were dealing with rest, and specifically like how they were handling their own player, managing their own player load management, you could actually tease out a lot of advantage still beyond just teams playing the third, fifth and 7 nights type of simple handicap stuff. And I hit that pretty well, pretty hard. And it was like, oh my God, I found a golden edge here. Like this is absolutely, unbeatable. This was like maybe 17, 18 into 2019, and then tried to scale it up. And as soon as I was betting it at size, the market absorbed it in about a month. And then basically, as far as I know, whoever was large, effective market maker in the NBA market is doing the same things, and the edge is gone. So then I was like, well, back to the drawing board. I gotta, find another way to kind of grind an edge in the NBA, because I just love the challenge. And for the most part, the next edge that I came through was doing player level bottom up team ratings. And there are a couple of different all-in-one metrics that are useful out there for doing bottom up. The two most commonly cited are Darko and EPM, and it just kind of gives you an idea of like, well, what is this player's impact on the game from an offensive and defensive standpoint, and then it's up to you to guess, well, if their offensive impact is blank, well, what is their usage, right? Like, how do we appropriately kind of synthesize this to a team rating for an offensive, a rating for a team, and then defensively, like, you might have a pretty low defensive rating, but like if you're on the floor with 5 other good defenders, and you're the only weak link, it still could be a pretty good defensive, team expectation. So kind of taking the all-in-one player ratings and coming up with the right way to synthesize them for team ratings, offensive and defensive, and then projecting pace, projecting usage, guessing minutes, all of that stuff is kind of the art and the putting the seasoning into the recipe, so to speak, and then kind of using that to then tease out advantages on sides is something that I love doing every morning. This time of morning is usually when we see most of the activity in the betting market as limits go up and most of the syndicates who are playing NBA start getting down on sides and totals. I don't have really any edge on totals from what I can tell you, except for postseason. But I do think I still have a pretty meaningful edge on sides, and excited to put that to work here. Most of the first quarter of the NBA season, betting on sides is literally just betting that your prior is better than the market. After the first quarter, you kind of change over into, okay, well, given the information we've got, now the market is pretty well adjusted to what are the fares for given teams. And then it becomes a lot more of like, okay, well, who's coming back from injury, who's improving, who's regressing at a player level that's going to impact the sides. And then, as the season goes on, it turns into more of like, okay, well, now these teams are pointing for the postseason, these teams are tanking, and you just kind of have to be able to kind of dynamically capture all that beyond just knowing how players should be fairly rated. So mostly just, excited to bet sides this year. I think we have a couple in particular today and tomorrow that I'm really, really surprised by. Starting with tonight, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 7-point favorites still. It beats me how in the world you can get above 4.5, considering that their second best player, Jalen Williams, is unavailable for this game, and considering how they match up against the Houston Rockets team that has exceptional length and size, and really can kind of take away the major strength of the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder were the best defense in the history of basketball last year, period. But what they did that was especially good, in my opinion, was take away your number one point of attack, plan A, and the Rockets kind of don't really have that. They lose Fred VanVleet in the preseason, which means that their primary ball handler is going to be Amen Thompson. He is not a shooter, but he is absolutely able to use his size and his speed to get to the rim. And then outside of that, they're going to be starting 4 guys who are 6'11", that have exceptional length, and beyond that are much bigger than the Oklahoma City Thunder bigs in the absence of Jalen Williams. So this, to me, I think is going to be a really, really, really close contest. I think the starting unit for the Thunder is going to have difficulty dealing with the length and the defensive efficiency for the Rockets on the floor. This should be a war, and it's going to be close. And the fact that you're getting 7 points with a team that I think matches up fairly well is probably one of the better bets we'll get in week 1.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm just looking at the board right now. It seems like we're moving, maybe having like a small move over at FanDuel. At least it's down to 6.5, juiced 6.5 minus 112 from that 7 before. So market seems to be in agreement with you, coming down a little bit on this Oklahoma City Thunder team. Listen, I don't know how much a half point is worth in the NBA. No, definitely no more in the NFL than the NBA. But yeah, definitely a small move regardless. Anything else you like in terms of these other games, Golden State Warriors game at the Lakers. I guess we can even talk tomorrow as well, lower limits, but anything you're looking at that kind of sticks out to you?
Yeah, Warriors Lakers is getting a little bit out of hand in terms of Warriors support. I kind of came into this season thinking the Warriors were going to be like a little bit of a sleeping giant. The win total market on them was a little soft. I make them like a 47-ish win team, and I think their win total was 45.5. A ton of it obviously depends on health, and particularly the health of Steph Curry. He is such a uniquely important offensive piece for any team, but particularly, like what he brings to the Warriors in terms of spacing and shooting is, one of one. And so as long as he's healthy, I think this Warriors team should be like a +4-ish. Meanwhile, Lakers are a much tougher handicap right now. Without LeBron and, just in general, not really knowing exactly how they intend to deploy Luka. It's a bit of a guessing game, but I would have them as the 7th best offense, 12th best defense in the NBA as currently rostered. I think they're also about a 47-win team, which means I think this should be closer to like a pickish type of game rather than Warriors plus 3-point favorites. So if I had to take a side in that one, I would get involved with the Lakers, but I ended up playing the over here. At 224.5, it's up to 226. I think fair is about 229. As I kind of mentioned in the preview, I'm not an especially sharp totals better at all. But I think that kind of early in the season right now, with how healthy most of these offenses are, and in general, the way that the refs were calling game in the preseason, we're set up for kind of a macro scoring environment in the NBA. In the early going here, where I think there might be just a general miss on the totals where they should be about kind of 2.5 points higher across this first 3 days of action, as far as I can tell you. So it's going to be interesting to put that to the test. And I think the Warriors Lakers is a good example of one where you could get a pretty healthy amount of scoring compared to market. Is kind of pricing this one in the lower side of things. There's a pace question mark about the Lakers, and if they're playing at a slower pace, then obviously this gets weird quickly. But you have two top 10 offenses squaring off, and I think it's going to be a little bit faster, and there's going to be plenty of fouls called on this one. So give me over in the nightcap tonight.
Yeah, okay, over in that game. It's funny, you're the second person I've talked to today in terms of the NBA saying similar thing with regards to the totals, feeling a little bit lower. Just maybe that's not a macro thing for them, but it was just they like both of the they were forced to like both of the totals in this game towards the over for both Golden State and the Houston Oklahoma City game. Drew, I have you on for a couple more minutes here. I wanted to squeeze in a little bit of NFL talk. Is there anything you like on the board right now? If not, I want to tee you up for something. But if there is, I want you to get to it first.
Biggest edge sidewise for me so far is Dallas catching 3.5 points. Anything over 3 there, I think, is a good bet on Dallas. Dallas's offense, I think, actually matches up really well against this Denver defense, which is the best in the NFL. In particular, I think Dallas really just has to get to the 50-yard line, and they're going to get 3 points on every drive in this one. The fact that they have Aubrey at altitude is a huge weapon that tilts things in their advantage in this one. So I'm kicking around the idea of actually betting on Dallas to win the NFC East. It is obviously a long way to go, but the injuries to the Commanders and just in general the Commanders being overrated by market, I think is pretty clear. And then Philly is, as we kind of talked about last week, I still don't think you can really trust that offense at all. I know that Jalen Hurts had probably his best game of the season against Minnesota, and that's a non-trivial defense to have that good of a game against, but I got to tell you, man, the play calling and the offensive vision of what Pizzola is doing is really unimpressive. And so Dallas being able to just by attrition and scoring force their way into this postseason and keep Philly out would be much appreciated. And I think in general, the market right now is rating Dallas as a little bit below average. They're like a -0.3 according to Unpredictable. that's not close to my number. Dallas for me is closer to a plus 0.5. So just in general, there's about a point of disagreement between me and the market on what Dallas's neutral rating would be. And I continue to be unimpressed by Bo Nix. I know he has this amazing 33-point fourth quarter comeback against the Giants. Congratulations. But that was an ugly win by Denver, and I think Dallas can put this team in a little bit more difficult spot.
Yeah, you couldn't see that, but Jacob behind the board, Giants fan, was shaking his head as you mentioned the Bo Nix. If you heard me snickering there when you mentioned that, but yeah. Quickly before you go, I just want to touch on MVP. Patrick Mahomes right now plus 125 to win the award. I guess it's his award to lose, but we're so early on in the season. Is there anyone you look at and say like, hey, maybe this guy might be interesting, or this like that guy, like Matthew Stafford 12-1. I see the NFC as being so wide open that I think you could potentially find someone you like on the odds board, take a swing on them, hope that they can finish top 2 in the conference, and hope that they find their name in the MVP ring. Like I'm looking at Stafford, hell, even my boy Sam Darnold might not have the stats or the numbers to back it up, but Jordan Love 25-1. Anything you like here, or you think it's just Mahomes' award to lose, and not that you'd click that plus 125, but
I guess the Mahomes at that price is no freaking way. What were we, like 3 weeks ago, where Josh Allen was like plus 120 and Mahomes was like 6-1. At that point in time, Mahomes is the clear and obvious bet now. But at this price, I think you actually probably either have to pass or take him on. There is a pretty flat tier. I in my opinion, at least, if you want the market is largely keying on who's going to be a 1 or 2 seed that's going to have an impressive statistical resume. You can shortcut that by just sorting the total EPA generated by quarterbacks. And right now there is a pretty flat tier of 5 guys who have generated 50. And Patrick Mahomes is in there. He's the only guy with like the name recognition, which is why he gets so much, why he has as much love as he does. But Drake May, Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love have all performed about as well as him in terms of total EPA generated. Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, Sam Darnold, not that far off. So there is obviously going to be a lot more chaos, I think, in this market as you have sorting where, team wins 3 in a row. All of a sudden they're, the presumptive 1 seed, and then that guy's going to be the favorite. I think that we are a long way to go from here. And I don't see a clear advantage in terms of who's going to be able to just continue to compile wins outside of Drake May, because as we kind of talked about last week, they have by far the easiest schedule remaining. So they're just going to keep winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be Drake May, but I think it might be too soon for him to win the award, because I feel like part of the MVP award is like slightly based on legacy, and I think that's part of the reason why maybe Mahomes is priced in.
Did you know he was top right now in EPA generated?
I actually did not know that. No.
Drake May is your number 1.
Wow. All right. Well. All right. I have to go delete some tweets. Anyways, Drew. Drew, appreciate you coming on. We'll chat next week. Thank you.
All right. Best luck, guys.
All right. Have a good one. Awesome stuff there. All right. Up next. We got Josh Goldberg coming in. Before we do, just want to give a quick shout out to our great friends and sponsors over at FanDuel. Buckets, buzzer beaters, and your choice of rewards. That's how FanDuel does basketball season. And right now, every day to start the season, you can choose your reward. Play it your way. Pick what fits your game and take control of how you bet. Take your shot with a profit boost. Play it cool with a no sweat bet, or get a little backup with a bet back token. Whatever fits your game, the choice is yours. That's what happens when you play on a sports book built for your game. I know personally I'm going to take that profit boost. I'm not going to go for the no sweat. I'm going to go for the profit boost and take a swing on some of these totals. Hope that they're wrong maybe. However you play, FanDuel's giving you the power to choose your reward and own your game every single day to start the NBA season. Head to FanDuel.com/forward progress to make your choice. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Please play responsibly. You must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, 19 plus and physically located in Ontario, 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call in your gambler. Visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. sport.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. All right. We got a World Series preview coming up. We got a big win from the Blue Jays. I know I'm feeling it a little bit. I know Jacob's feeling it a little bit after tonight, both being from Toronto. And I'm wondering if our guest up next is feeling it a little bit. He's a writer at Blue Jays Nation, host of the DFA podcast, covering the Blue Jays. Josh Goldberg, how's it going, my friend?
Good. Thanks for having me.
How I gotta ask, how are you feeling today? Are you from? I assume you're from the city of Toronto.
Yeah.
So. How was your night last night? How are you feeling today? Are you like everyone else here, or you like a pro's pro? You went right to the drawing board and started cooking up, writing an article for the World Series.
No. I enjoyed it. I don't know how you couldn't, to be honest. Like it's I'm 36, so I was alive for 92 and 93, but not to like a real point where you could really take anything away from it. And I've watched a lot of mediocre or worse baseball in my lifetime, like in the mid 2000s, going to games when there were like 8,000 people at times, or 10,000. And it just felt like something like this was so far away from happening and maybe never going to happen. It's really hard to win in the playoffs, and it's really hard to make it to the World Series. Like the Yankees have won one World Series in the last 25 years, and they've made the playoffs basically every year in that span. So you have to celebrate this. The way that they did it, the way that they came back from 0-2 down, the bullpen implosion, the terrible decision-making in Game 5, being down 3-1 last night, looking like they didn't have a spark. And then all of a sudden, the game completely flips on its head, and Springer does that. And this has just been such an easy team to get behind the entire season. And they kind of get to the World Series in the way that has defined them all year long. And I would say enjoy it today, enjoy it tomorrow, maybe even enjoy it a bit on Thursday, and then start to really think about what the Dodgers present in terms of a challenge, because it's a big one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it feels like we've been underdogs, though. I say the Blue Jays have been underdogs for the entire year. We talked about it a little bit with the previous guest, Drew, here, where coming into the season, you see like some ESPN analysts doing their AL East preview, and they 6 or 7 have the Jays finishing 5th in the division, which, I mean, like, listen, I completely understand that, but underdogs all year, underdogs against the Yankees, underdogs against the Mariners. We're going to be underdogs against the Dodgers, but it's the way this team is. It's built scrappy, which I'm excited to see. What were your initial reactions after that George Springer homer? Like, was it just elation? Was it just happiness, joy, disbelief? Were you at the game as well, or were you out watching with some friends, or how did you consume it?
I went to 1, 2, and 6, and 6 was pretty epic, honestly, considering just everything. It was quite a crowd to be a part of. I think there was a lot of emotions. There was some shock for sure. It took me a second to realize as he hit it, it was like, oh, I think this is going to go. And then it just felt like the ball carried for so long and was in the air for so long. And it's just like, is this going to die or something? And then no, it just gets out. And then you go crazy and you're jumping around. And to me, one of the coolest things about sports is no matter how old or young you are, if you're a fan of a particular team in a big spot and a big moment like that kind of takes place, everybody basically has the same reaction. It's like the ultimate connector and the unifying type of thing. And that's why I think everyone loves sports so much, and particularly for a Blue Jays fan base that in the last 3 decades has not had a lot of exciting moments. Yeah, there's been the bat flip, and there have been some, but not in that situation to get to the World Series. The last time they were this close, obviously Game 6 against the Royals in 2015 was heartbreaking, and they've had some postseason scar tissue over the last couple of years. And for it all to come together in the way that it has here over the past couple of weeks, I think everyone is just on such a euphoric high that it almost feels like you never want this kind of run to end.
Yeah, and it sucks that it will eventually end. Hopefully it ends the right way for us here. I'll tell my own little anecdotal story about how I was watching this game. We do a live watch along in this studio of Monday Night Football games for football. So we were dual boxing the Monday Night Football game with the baseball game, and the Jays, the Monday Night Football game, the first game ended. We finished the stream. I start walking to my car, and I'm like, I have a weird feeling. I got to FaceTime my friends to like watch this. And as I FaceTime them, I see IKF get on base, and then I'm standing outside for that home run. I was alone, but I mean, it was an incredible experience nonetheless. Let's get into the nitty gritty though of the series itself. Obviously, we want to take a little bit of a breather, but first big news we get is that it seems like Bo Bichette is ready to go. First of all, who's going to come out of the lineup if Bo Bichette is ready to go? And how do you think his impact is going to help this team against like essentially a loaded Dodgers pitching staff?
Yeah, I would think he'll take the spot of Joey Loperfido on the roster. I think a lot of it depends on how physically ready he is to play defensively. Because if he can't play shortstop, that kind of limits your options a little bit because you're more likely to use him at DH. And obviously George Springer has been entrenched as the DH. And then if you're going to DH Bichette to get his bat in the lineup, then you're talking about moving Springer out to an outfield spot. And then that kind of takes away from one of the big strong points of your roster, which is having a really good defensive outfield. I think if he's healthy enough to be on the roster, I still want his bat, and I'm willing to take a little bit of a dip defensively because I just think you need as many quality offensive options as you can have against the Dodgers because they haven't made it to the World Series, Los Angeles, on the back of a ton of offense. It's been their starting pitching, which has been ridiculous. Like every game, you got guys going 6 or 7, scoreless, 1, maybe 2 runs allowed. Their bullpen isn't great, but they haven't really had to lean on it too much because the starting pitching has been so dominant. So I want as many talented options as possible. Yes, it will be a while since Bichette has played, and to throw him into the deep end without any kind of rehab or anything like that, right back into it in the World Series against the Dodgers is tough. But I'm willing to at least see how he looks. Maybe you adjust if you know it doesn't go great to start. But I want his bat in the lineup in Game 1 if he's healthy because I just think that level of upside would provide such a boost and raise the ceiling for the Blue Jays in a series where, you know, they're going to be major underdogs, and I understand why. And Los Angeles, that pitching staff is good enough to shut you down for 4 times in a short period of time. And I want the best possible lineup that I can have to put as much pressure as I can on those guys.
Yeah, this Dodgers lineup is insane. You want a guy who's hitting 311, like second in the major leagues, I think, in hits this year. You want him, obviously, in your lineup, so you got to do whatever you can to get him in. Let's flip over and talk the Dodgers here because they have so many strengths. It's hard to pinpoint like a weakness for them outside of their bullpen. So like, what do you see as like Toronto's path to victory in the World Series here? Like what would be the narrative of their path to victory? Is it chasing the starters early and beating up on a weaker bullpen? Is it just like offensive dynamo powerhouse outshoots the Dodgers? Like what's the Jays' path to victory?
I think it's putting the ball in play a lot and putting pressure on the Dodgers pitching staff, not giving them quick, easy outs and allowing their starting pitchers to pitch deep into games with modest pitch counts because like that gives their lineup enough opportunities to do damage. And their lineup, it's top heavy. The bottom half of it isn't exactly that scary, I would say. There are guys who can do damage there, certainly, but you're really focused in on the top 3, and then to some extent Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez. There are other guys, Edmund Pages, who can certainly beat you, but I think that the Jays have to find a way to just do what they've done all year, which is see a lot of pitches, not strike out, make a lot of contact, and make life difficult on the Dodgers and make it a battle of the bullpens, because I'm not going to sit here and say that the Jays bullpen is lights out and you should feel great about it in a big spot against Freddie Freeman or Shohei or Mookie Betts, but I do feel better about Toronto's bullpen than I do about the Dodgers. Like I look up and down at that Dodgers bullpen, and like I said, they haven't really been tested so far in October, because I think they're 9-1 so far in the playoffs, and they've won a lot of comfortable games for the most part, outside of Roki Sasaki, who's become their closer. And even him, I still feel as though there could be a blow up or two in there. There's not a lot else there that should really intimidate you much. So if the Blue Jays can get to the starters and get to that bullpen early in some games, I think that will bode really well for their chances of winning the series.
Yeah, that's got to be the goal. Get the ball in play. Chase these starters out of here, and then just see what their bullpen's got. See what they got, because it seems like they might be due for some blowups here. I got a question for you that might be a little bit of a inside baseball Toronto thing here. Did you try and get tickets this morning on Ticketmaster for the World Series here for games 1, 2, 5? Absolute disaster. Did you get any?
My brother got some seats for Game 7, so I guess, I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't go 7 and it's just a refund situation. But if it were to, that's at least an avenue. And it sounds like a friend of a friend might have a line on some tickets for Game 1. So I'm at least optimistic about the possibility of getting in there. The prices are ridiculous, but like within reason, I said to myself, I maybe it's not a once in a lifetime opportunity, but it's been 32 years, and if it's another 32 years, hopefully I'm still around, but you have no idea. So within reason, I said to myself, I've been to so many games. I've spent so much money over the years on this team. Like I'll find a way if possible, because the World Series alone is cool. The World Series against the Dodgers, Ohtani, all of it just feels as though it would be tough for me as a long time kind of being in the Blue Jays ecosystem to not be there, like with friends or family at least once, to kind of drink in the atmosphere that I'm sure is going to be just ridiculous.
Yeah, we've been starved of championships here in Toronto. So, I mean, again, like took 30 years to get us one, and not even just championships, but like deep playoff runs. So it's exciting to see for the Blue Jays here. I have one more question for you. I have a Blue Jays jersey. On the back is Ohtani, 17 Ohtani.
When did you?
So
get that?
we got someone sent it to us. One of the guys we work with. It's kind of like a gag thing. When of course like the plane situation happened. Can I wear that jersey out in Toronto, or is that like a no fly zone for me? No pun intended.
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I don't know. Actually, I honestly wonder what kind of reaction you would get, especially now with the World Series. I might wear it if they win.
Yeah.
As like a you own Ohtani type deal. If they beat the Dodgers, that might be the circumstance where I actually could see it. I might green light you wearing it just to see what the reaction is, because this would be the ultimate way to kind of like put a pin in that forever, is to beat the Dodgers after all that Ohtani stuff, and like to really get the last laugh. Yeah, it would still be awesome if he was a Blue Jay, but there is like a poetic kind of justice element that would be at play here if they could find a way to beat Ohtani and the Dodgers in the World Series. Like, the storylines are endless, but that is a juicy one that I am obviously going to be thinking about if this series goes the way that I am hoping, and obviously millions of Blue Jays fans are hoping.
All right, we got a couple more days to wait, to stew, to enjoy before we get into Game 1. Last question before I leave you out here. Give me your prediction for the series, winner and amount of games.
I'm not going against the Blue Jays. I'm just not going to do it. I would be an idiot if I did it. I did before the season, and I was an idiot. I refuse to doubt them. And you know what? Because I have access to Game 7 tickets, Jays in 7, and I might lick the ground of the concourse at Rogers Center if they do that, because I would do anything for the ability to be in the building for a Blue Jays World Series victory. So I'm going to say Blue Jays in 7, and my life will never be the same if that happens.
All right, I'm rooting for that for you. Josh, appreciate you coming on here today. You can follow Josh on Twitter. Link is in the description down below. Josh, we'll chat soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Awesome stuff there. Plus EV move of the week has to be getting Game 7 tickets because, like,
I tried.
It's
man.
a free roll. Like, I believe the face value of the tickets are all the same regardless of the game. Like, Game 7. What the heck is Rob Boyer? I'm sorry. Game 7 is going to be that's the one you want to go to. It's like the value of those tickets would be insane. Anyways, sorry. Rob is on screen. He's throwing me off. You guys will see it in a second here. Just before we bring up Rob, just want to give a shout out to our friends over at BetStamp, because with football season in full swing and the NBA starting tonight, now is the time to lock in the BetStamp Pro Props screen. It's built for high-level bettors who need to spot and scale up edges fast as more books take real money on props. Prices are getting sharper, which means the window to exploit inefficient numbers is right now. You can't do that without a hyper-efficient, reliable true line that shows you the real market price in seconds across 150-plus outs, helping you find and hit the best edges before the market moves. Don't wait. The window to capitalize on the prop market is right now. Visit betstamp.com/hammer or scan the QR code to apply for a demo. Spots are limited ahead of the season. And quickly, kind of a plug for BetStamp Pro, but like I use it all the time. They actually have this new feature where they have alerts. So if you have on the main lines at least, so if there's like a large move on the main line for college football, for NFL, for NBA, you'll be alerted to it. So helpful stuff. Anyways, betstamp.com/hammer. Let's bring up Rob. He's the CEO of the Hammer Betting Network. You guys know him here. You've seen him on Circles Off YouTube channel. Ditched me last night for our usual Monday stream to go watch the Jays game. Didn't even invite me to the Jays game. Said, no, you have to work with G-Stock. I was like, all right, fair enough. Rob, how's it going? Is he muted or?
Yeah, do you think he's muted on
his end?
All right. We'll give him a sec.
We'll give him a second here. I think what is on his head, first of all? Second of all, what is going on here? It's just the
he's good.
Oh, he's good now?
Yeah.
There we go. You okay?
Yeah. I'm struggling big time today. This is a headache hat that I keep stored in the refrigerator regularly for specifically days like today, where I can't function as a human being unless I have this thing on my head. It was a pretty epic night last night. Best decision of my life, I think, to attend that game. But afterwards, after party, you could probably smell me in the office right now, Jacob and Jason. I was on one of those couches in the main common area till about, 5:30 a.m. last night. Just, it's all a blur now. But I'm here. Jays won, and that's what matters.
Incredible stuff. Chat's going crazy right now, asking if you're wearing a do-rag, saying Rob Rizzola.
This is what it looks like.
That is literally the most insane thing. It looks like you spray painted hair on your head.
You know, like I you guys don't understand. Like I can't function with this on. I got up, my alarm went. I was supposed to wake up to try to get tickets. That didn't happen. Then I'm like, I'm going to see if I can go for a walk this morning. I stepped outside. I'm like, I can't take a step without my head feeling like it's going to explode. But you know what? It's all worth it. I met the Gate 14 guys down at the Wheat Sheaf last night, Jay. We were ripping some shots of tequila, and I'm 39 years old, man. I like to party like I'm still in my 20s, and catches up to you the following day. So that's where we're at now, but no regrets. For sure. And I don't know, man, like the stuff we had to do to will the Jays to success last night. People don't know what happens behind the scenes, but I went to the game with Isaac Rose-Berman, his friend Isaac as well, and Ecolt, who's regularly in the chat. So it was us four. At about the fifth inning mark, things were not going well. We kicked both Isaacs out of the seats and told them to swap with our old producer, Zach Phillips, and his girlfriend. And they came over. And I think that's what changed I have to believe that actually did something in that game, because they showed up like an inning before Springer homered, and man, it was wild. It was wild in there. I've never been to any sporting event that was that loud. I've been to the Bautista bat flip game, the Edwin walk-off. I've been to big NFL games. I was at a Penn State game last year with 100,000 people. I've never been to a sporting event that was that loud in that moment. So, yeah, pretty stoked, man.
Incredible moment for the city, incredible moment for the fans, incredible moment for us here. The only thing I'm bothered about is that's my home base, and I didn't even, like, maybe the invite got lost in the mail or something along those lines. You wanted me to work today. You didn't want me to be hungover at all.
This is true. I'm not making this up. You can confirm with other people. I don't know how much they remember or not. My phone was dead. It died upon leaving the game. I did tell them to extend an invite to you. I said, this is Jason's spot. I said, maybe we'll see him there already. If you're going to blame one person, it's got to be on Ecolt. Ecolt is the guy that was supposed to extend the invite to you.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. It was on him. I said, you got to message Jason. This is his spot. I'm like, you might be there already. Was rammed when we showed up, but didn't see you, and it's on Ecolt at that point.
All right, I just removed his mod powers, and he's not getting those back in the near future. Anyway, so we got business to take care of. I can hammer this stuff out behind the scenes here. I texted Isaac. He texted me at 3 a.m. Phone dead.
I was texting Isaac as well. And Isaac said my phone's dying, so I texted Zach, and they showed up to Cherries. I was already in Cherries, but it was fucking packed, so didn't work out.
Anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's dive into these. Let's dive into this market, the NFL market. We've seen some movement since you went live Sunday night on Forward Progress YouTube channel on the Sunday reset. Let's start with the Minnesota Los Angeles game, Thursday Night Football, Chargers Vikings. We see the Chargers get bet up. They're now sitting around 3 in market. You think we're going to see a 3.5 here when we get a final decision on who this quarterback is going to be? Then also we're at 44.5 right now. Do you think that's where it's going to situate, or is this going to hinge on who's going to play quarterback for the Vikings?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm kind of surprised at the amount of Chargers money early week, and it's not to say that it's going to end there, but we're pushing towards 3.5 in most spots right now. And definitely it's kind of up in the air with the Vikings, with both McCarthy and Wentz dealing with injuries. And maybe I guess there's some upside in playing the Chargers just based off of that type of situation, considering it's a short week. Max Brosmer would be the third stringer over there. So I kind of get it from that perspective, but it doesn't correlate with the total also being bet up. I mean, I know those are two different markets, but typically if you're thinking you're going to bet the Chargers, or someone's betting the Chargers because of quarterback issues on the other side, then typically the under would take money as well. So it's kind of a weird dynamic that we're seeing with the game right now. Should be noted, it did move through 44, a very key number in the NFL. So, I mean, that's a significant move even early on in the week. Does kind of make sense. I think when you think of the way the Vikings play defense, they can give up a lot of explosives. They blitz a lot. The Chargers, even with the O-line issues, they can get guys one-on-one on the outside. They might be able to win. But yeah, a little bit surprised with the amount of Chargers money so far at this point. And I think once those 3.5s pop, if they do, you're going to see some buyback on the Vikings.
Okay, maybe some buyback on the Vikings there. I wonder, is this love maybe some prediction on the health status of this offensive line for the Chargers? We see Joe Alt is practicing for them, a couple other, I think Trey Pipkins as well. Just like general health bump for this offensive line. Is that what might be baking in here?
It's possible. I mean, Joe Alt got in 2 limited practices last week. Until we see him go full, though, I mean, this is a high ankle sprain he was suffering from. It's a short week. I'm not entirely sure, but you're right. It could be just some optimism into what's going on with that type of situation, and potentially the return of Alt, which would really help the offensive line. So I think a lot of this personally, I think when you evaluate these teams, how they've played this year, what the market has kind of rated these teams at, it's kind of hard to get to this price. So I think somebody's seeing something where they're quite optimistic about maybe something with the quarterback situation for the Vikings, or potentially, like you're right, Joe Alt coming back.
All right, let's flip over and talk about this Jets-Bengals game, which to me is like such a head scratcher, but I don't want to stand on either side of these teams, or I just want to not back either of these teams at all. We saw earlier this morning on FanDuel, they had looked like it opened up 3.5, 4, and then at like 9 a.m. ish or 11, between 9 and 11 o'clock. It's now jumped up to around 6.5. We see some 7s across the board for the Bengals here. Total as well hasn't really budged. But what do you make of this jump here for Cincinnati? Do you agree with this move? Did I miss like some quarterback news? What news did I miss here to get such a big jump in the market?
Well, first and foremost, the Jets are a complete pile of dog shit is the first starting point here. Now, I will say, I didn't think this would push out to 7 in some spots. Now, you do have some cluster injuries in the Jets secondary. And if you think of a one matchup across the league where you might not want to have cluster injuries in the secondary, it would be going against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But Sauce Gardner left last week with a concussion. Michael Carter's been out for, I want to say, 3 weeks now with the concussion as well. Quantez Stiggers, who's a depth corner for them, has a hip injury, didn't play last week. So you're looking at, I think, 3 of arguably your best 4 or 5 corners potentially that could miss for the Jets, and that creates a matchup advantage for Cincinnati. One thing, listen, I'm not a Joe Flacco guy, but he'll get the ball to his guys in space. That's how we saw him beat the Steelers, quick throws. And there is a path to success for Cincy winning by margin. With that said, there's just no chance I would ever bet the Bengals at this number, even with the injuries on the Jets, even with, potentially a Garrett Wilson being out again with his hip injury or knee injury, whatever it is. So listen, one team, fairly healthy minus Trey Hendrickson. They have a little bit of extra rest as well to get him potentially back in the lineup. The Jets are beat up. I get it. But at some point, you got to say to yourself, this is the Bengals, and you're now asking them to win a game by 8 to cover a spread. That's like a really large flip from where we were a week ago, where they were basically like a 6-point home underdog to the Steelers. So, yeah, Jets are nothing. I feel like we're going to get some Jets buyback at some point. I don't think this can end here.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just don't. In terms of like market rating, like what does this mean for Cincinnati? What does this mean for the Jets? Even if you have the Jets as like the worst team in the NFL, which they rightfully are, I just don't get how you get to all the way to a full touchdown here for this Bengals team. But yeah, I mean, we're here now. So
you also got to wonder, Jay, if there's like Jets, what I'll call burnout from sharper bettors, where they kind of get backed on a weekly basis and then they just don't cover those numbers, because we've seen a lot of market support for some of these bad teams like the Jets, like the Titans, and they're not covering games. So I think there's a potential here that, I mean, listen, if I laid some pretty big money on the Jets for like 3 consecutive weeks and I lost all those bets and they weren't even close, I might have some consideration as to whether or not I want to do that again going forward. So I think that could also play into it.
Yeah, let's go from one bad team to another. Let's talk about the Colts taking on the Tennessee Titans. Like you talked about here, these bad teams seem to be taking money close to post. We saw it last week with Tennessee. We saw it last week with the Jets, but they're still struggling to cover. I wonder if it's the same situation here because Indianapolis is laying 14.5 at home against this Tennessee Titans, which again feels like a lot, but Indianapolis has been like the hottest offense in the NFL this year. Total is at 46.5. We've seen it come up from 44.5 from the opener. Talk a little bit about that move there, and if you could see maybe some Tennessee buyback again at some point this week, where I don't want to say the sharps, but like it seems like guys close to the it seems like Tennessee's getting hit at close. So, do you expect that to happen again this week?
I don't think Indy's going to close higher than this. I mean, we talked about this on Sunday Reset. It was me and G-Stack this week, but we talked about this over and it got bet up. It like the Colts profile as a dead nut over team right now, in my opinion. They have injuries in their secondary and their offense is so incredibly efficient against everyone that they're kind of scoring at will. I wonder if Tennessee can get us there in this type of game, and whether or not it was just better off playing the Colts team total over, but not really surprising to see the over money. In terms of what's going to happen here with the Titans, I kind of, again, this is just from evaluating these markets, not only this year, but for many years. These are the types of teams that tend to get bet. Like you're very rarely seeing a favorite open up this high and then just continue to get bet out with no resistance. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Maybe it's the same type of situation as the Jets, where potentially it comes down to last minute type of thing. Limits go up and someone with a lot of money just says, you know what, I don't agree with this number. It's too big, even though the Titans are bad. So I think if anything, you might get Titans money later in the week. That 46.5 at FanDuel, though, does stand out. Most of the market's at 47 right now. So if you were late to the boat with the over, I think you could still play it at FanDuel.
Yep, 46.5 minus 114. Then also, forgot to mention this, but if you like Cincinnati for whatever reason and you think this is the last time you're going to get a 6.5, not many 6.5s out there. A lot of it market is paying at 7, minus 110 at FanDuel. 6.5 is the best price in market on that Bengal team. Rob, we got to go rapid fire because we got the edgers coming on my case right now. Pause. Buffalo, Carolina, Dalton. The news shifted off of him. Buffalo got bet first, and Carolina got bet back. It's the old adage of Joey Kanish. If you really want to know something about your starting quarterback, rule him is out and see how the betting markets react to him. What do you think about that back and forth here on the Buffalo Carolina game?
Yeah, it seems to be like there's a lot of people who just have like news alerts set, and whenever they see somebody out, they immediately bet the other side. Like it's impactful. And that's what happened when Bryce Young was announced with the high ankle sprain. The Bills catch money right away, and then it's just bought back right away. I like this matchup for Carolina. I'm a little bit concerned about who might be playing for Buffalo coming off the bye week because they had some pretty significant injuries on defense, especially Daquan Jones would be one to watch. He was out with a calf injury. Terrell Bernard, Matt Milano in the linebacking core. So there's some upside there for Buffalo for sure, but I think when you look at Carolina, they're just a very good team at running the football and defending the run. And that's kind of what Buffalo, struggles against, really. Buffalo gives up a lot of rushing yards. They play a lot of too high. They're content to let teams run the ball. That's how Carolina will beat you. And on the other side, Buffalo leans into the run too much on offense, in my opinion, for what they have at quarterbacks. So not surprised to see the immediate buyback on Carolina. This took a lot of under money as well. And again, I think I'm just thinking about it from like the way the game will profile, but it does seem like this is a game where both teams are going to want to run the ball fairly heavily, I would say. That's like, again, Buffalo's MO on offense. So not surprising to see the under there, but I played a little bit of Carolina in this game, and I still think above a touchdown, it has some value.
Yeah. Above touchdown, maybe there's some value there. And yeah, Carolina, I mean, if you haven't heard, their defense has actually been pretty good and a complete 180 from what we saw last year. So you're going to want to catch up to that. Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Bucks got stomped yesterday. I think that's the best way to put it. Plus, like, unfortunate injury for Mike Evans, which is just terrible to see. Broke his collarbone. Seems like he probably got a concussion on the play as well. Emeka Egbuka, he was winning downfield, but he still looked a little bit of like he had something lingering there. Just horrible adversity that this Bucks team has had to deal with throughout the season. We've seen the optimism on them come down a bit. They've moved from 6 to 4.5 now against this New Orleans Saints. I still feel like the numbers maybe too low. I think maybe this is just not enough credit going to the Detroit Lions here. That's my opinion on things. What are your thoughts on this move here for the Bucks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where this one is going to go because, again, like the look ahead was 6. You have to account for Evans being injured. You have to account for the game that they played where they looked really bad last night. I suspect, though, that there's a lot of anti-Bucks sentiment in market right now. Like, this team is really lucky. I don't know if I want to get behind the Saints at this type of number, but I could see this going a little bit further, to be completely honest with you. I'm not really sure what to make of this. The total got reopened a lot lower as well. So I got to dig a little bit deeper onto this game. But I do think that if you consider like sharp bettors in the space right now, I would say that they are pretty down on the Bucks relative to some maybe like more recreational bettors. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this number close a little bit lower, but I'm being thrown off a little bit because the look ahead was higher.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I don't know. Baker Mayfield, I still think after a bad game, still an MVP candidate, still a guy who profiles and looks pretty good. Didn't look good last night, but I think against lesser competition, he should be able to look pretty good, especially considering New Orleans doesn't have that strong of a defense. One MVP candidate to another. Where's the love for Dak Prescott in this MVP market? We got to start pumping his tires a little bit because I think this Dallas team deserves a ton of credit. I was shitting on them throughout the entire offseason, and I was completely wrong about them. Their offense looks prolific as ever. Right now, after that big Denver comeback, we have, I think, the market's around 3-ish, and they're starting to disappear, but we're going to start to see some 3.5s here. I don't like Denver. I haven't liked Denver all year. I feel like asking them to cover is asking a lot. Dallas on the road, 3.5-point underdogs. Do you agree with this 3.5 that's out there right now?
Well, again, so look ahead was 5.5. So there's been quite an adjustment over the course of a week. And I talked about this on Sunday Reset. But when you get a 5.5 look ahead, reopen at 3 without any real major injuries, I think the market is generally going to drift back towards the look ahead for the most part. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be some support for Dallas at 3.5. I could definitely see that happening. But the reality is, like, the Cowboys went on the road and lost to the Panthers a couple weeks ago. They got smoked by the Bears on the road earlier on in the year as well. It's not like it's a team that is, perfect team. Yeah, offensive efficiency has been really good for them. They still have a really bad defense. And yeah, you're reliant on Bo Nix on the other side. But, he's put together some good games in the past before. So I can see why someone would want that Denver 3. Personally, I played some over in this game. And looks up into 50s now. 50.5 at FanDuel. Dallas is just like a dead nut over team. I don't care what defense you put in front of them. They're going to find a way to move the ball rather consistently. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they're just horrendous. There's just so many gaps. So played some over here. But now that we're into the 50s, I think we kind of got to stop at that point.
All right. Drifted out a little bit too far there. I just this Denver team coming off of I think Chosen Sports in the chat is saying coming off a win they didn't deserve. He likes Dallas.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus 3.5. Maybe I wonder what the number. I doubt it would affect it too much. But again, like if they lost that game, wonder if we would see more threes out there. Let's close out here with Green Bay and Pittsburgh because I know Moretto's in the back, a little pissed off. We'll make him wait. We'll make him and Alber wait. Or is Alber with us right now?
No, I see Alber in backstage. Yeah, he's not wearing his suspenders though, which is shameful that he didn't wear those.
Maybe we can bring that up right now though, Jacob. Is that quickly doable?
We'll save.
We'll save it. Okay.
Okay.
I think he's going to find the suspenders.
I can bring it up if you want.
I don't know. Like it's Alber. Is it?
No, he's not up. I just.
Oh, there he is. There he. Oh man. Alber, you're looking good. I think you're frozen though, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. It's a photo.
It's a picture. I know. I'm playing into the bit a little
my
bit.
head so much.
All right. Quickly though, Green Bay, Pittsburgh. We've seen Green Bay money since open. Threes moved out to 3.5. It's right now -104 over on our friends at FanDuel. Totals kind of situated at the 44.5 here. Green Bay on the road. What's your opinion on this number here? Do you think we're going to start to see this number sort of drift out for Green Bay?
I think you will have interest on both sides in this game. This is like the notorious quote-unquote smash spot for Tomlin. Home dog, getting points, prime time. I don't really buy into all that stuff. The challenge I have with Green Bay is they have very good efficiency metrics so far this year. Even when you adjust for their schedule, the numbers look good. The team does not. So I'm trying to match these things in my head. Is do I trust the data that I'm seeing on paper or my eyes? And that's really challenging. I'm not surprised that Green Bay got the early money. I think we talked about this on Sunday Reset as well, where I thought that's the way it would head. But I think once the market drifts out here to 3.5, I think at some point you're going to get some support the other way. So I'll call this a split sharp game, in my opinion, where I think you're going to see back and forth battling for the 3 and 3.5.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense there with that 3.5. But something you're not considering, I know you talked about the Tomlin, bro, dog, whatever that situation is. Are you considering the Aaron Rodgers revenge game in Green Bay as against Green Bay as well? Is that factored in?
You know what? You got to factor in all these revenge games nowadays, man. I didn't factor in the Dennis Allen revenge game last week with the Bears and Saints. I mean, it's crazy after the fact, all the turnover in the league. But I mean, you could factor in a revenge game for every friggin' game at some point over the course of the year. Guys move around the league so often. So I don't know. What is Rodgers going to he's going to elevate his game? I mean, I feel like he's trying to play at 100% for every game, is he not?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, what are we talking about here?
No, maybe he'll take next. Took last week off, obviously, against Cincinnati because he was preparing for the revenge game.
But he played well. It's not like his defense sucked last week. Yeah.
Anyways, Rob, appreciate you coming on. Follow Rob on Twitter. Link in the description down below. Hopefully you're feeling better. Hopefully you can rest up. And we're going to the Friday game 1, or what's going on here?
I'm going back to bed now, and then I'll figure the rest of my life out later. That's my plan, yeah.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you, Rob. Talk soon.
All right, later.
All right, see you guys. That wraps up for today's show. Do us a huge favor. Smash the like button, guys. What are we doing here? way too low of likes. If half the people liked the stream right now, we would have double the amount of likes currently. So let's do this thing and smash the like button. Because Moretto said he wasn't going to come on unless we had 25 likes minimum, which is like a crazy low number considering we have like about 100 concurrent live right now. Anyways, let's get into this thing. Let's dive into this. We got the Edgers on the show. We got Matt Alber, no suspenders. We got Alex Moretto, no suspenders. Wearing the same thing as last week though. I think Alex just has one shirt and just rotates same color, just rotates it. 5 shirts. Anyways, Alber, Moretto, how's it going?
You still have a picture for Alber.
Are we just going to leave the picture up the whole time and let me kind of talk over it? There we go.
I think that'd be funny. I think that'd be good. Can you? Yeah. Let's. I mean,
what are you doing here?
Your picture is centered.
It's
and
way better than the virtual background he has up there. Like everyone is here to see where the lotion is, if the bet is made, all of it. We need to know what's going on, and Albert's just hiding it from us, and that's we're really disappointing.
I was gonna say, I think this one's on you guys. I'm right in the middle, and you have me pinned off to the left. So we're gonna try to figure this out, but that's definitely on you guys.
You can move your body.
No, you can't do that.
I don't know which direction I need to go.
Oh, you can't. Oh, my bad.
Just stay in the middle. I have you. I have you said no. Oh. Stay in the middle. I'll fix it. Sorry.
Yeah, just don't move.
Because freaking so money sits so far to the side of the screen, man. I'll fix it.
Does sit far to the side of the screen. Anyways, let's get into things. We are in full edgework swing, edgework mode. Let's see some hashtag edgers in the chat. Hashtag edge, whatever you want to play. Let's start off with this slate talking about the San Jose Sharks taking on the New York Islanders. We have a bet and a lean for this game, or a fade and a lean in this game. Alber, you like the total. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I'm guessing the fade is Moretto just wanting to fade me in every single pick this year. Which,
no, that's me, actually.
Hard to blame, or you, or everyone in the chat, apparently. No, I like the over here. The Sharks, I mean, they're not stopping anybody at this point, and even the Islanders, like, they're letting up a good amount of offense against every team they face. I don't trust Nedeljkovic. He's been pretty good so far, but that should die off pretty fast. I think it's him in net tonight. Yeah, I think we'll have some really high-level offense in this game. Not a whole lot of defense. So, yeah, cheap 6.5. I'll take the over here.
All right, we're going to take the over. FanDuel right now, 6.5 minus 105. There's some plus monies out there. Very few, but if you want a plus 100 on the 6.5 for the over, you can definitely find that out there as well. Moretto, you have a bet on this game as well. Sorry, a lean on this game. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I lean Sharks. Kind of was hoping for like a little bit of a better number. I just don't see how the Isles, the way they're playing defense right now, can lay this number against anyone. I know the Sharks are brutal. I'm not betting it yet. If we can get like a minus 120, plus 1.5, or like some plus 210-ish, which like is not out of the realm of possibility here, I think I'll jump in on the Sharks. Side note, I don't know if anyone heard Worofsky's comments, the San Jose coach. Did you guys hear that the other
about
day?
His kids? Yes.
So he said like he would give up one of his kids for a win right now, which is like whatever. He just said it in jest. And then like, I need to know what happened when he went home that night, because yesterday, obviously his wife had like a serious conversation with him, because he came out yesterday and walked it back and like issued an apology and said, I love my kids. I would never give them up. I love my wife. I just made those comments out of like, you know, whatever. Like he had to like walk the whole thing back. Man, I can only imagine the hellstorm he went home to. Kind of hope the Sharks win just for him.
Yeah. Also, Askarov confirmed in net for the Sharks. Yeah. Sorokin in net for the Islanders. Those comments were like absolutely insane. Can't believe he got away with it.
He got in so much shit.
I'm curious how many kids he has and which one he would pick to give up. Or maybe that's the conversation they got into. Anyways, got a couple more games that you guys have bets on. A reminder in the chat, if you guys want to start dropping your goal scores in there, we'll maybe build out an anytime goal parlay on FanDuel like we normally do here on the Edgework portion. Let's talk about the Devils taking on the Leafs. Alex, you like a total in this game, so I'll let you run us through it here.
Yeah, I'll be kind of quick with this one because the nature of this show now being so much later, when I'm sending you plays, it's kind of hard to know where the market's going to be, an hour and a half later. And the market has moved towards the under here. there's still some 6 -115s available, which I like if you can get those. That's basically, I think the Leafs are just kind of a dead under team. They're struggling to generate. The Devils on the road, especially against some decent teams, like to play that way. I would expect a response, especially defensively, from the Leafs after Stolar's kind of called out the whole team the other night. So, just stylistically, I think this is very much an under type of matchup. I do want to be pretty price sensitive though on this one, just because of the fact that there is still a lot of like star power in this game. So just because it's a low event game doesn't mean we won't necessarily see a few goals. It scares me enough to like, I really want to make sure I'm getting like that 115 or better here.
Yeah. -125 over on FanDuel. We're seeing some 5.5s pop up as well. Definitely trickling down. Alber, also you like the Devils, but you liked it at +110. Not available right now, but maybe if you see one pop and you want to tail Alber, you can do that. And also chat mentioning is Sheldon Keefe revenge game. Do those happen
like
in hockey?
6 of them already, though. I think he's faced them so many times since he's been gone. So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, good luck to him. Anyways, let's move on here. Let's talk about the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. This total is also moved, Moretto. Do you still like it at this number? Is that something you like here, or what's happening?
Top around, over 6. I mean, there's some -120s. That's like as far as I'd play it. Maybe slightly smaller at that point, but like I still kind of like that. Just two really bad defensive teams. They're generating enough offense. Like I do like the over here. Man, yeah, it's tough, man. This is crazy. These numbers are really running here. Thankfully, I've got some other plays today that haven't really run. Maybe even market moving slightly against me. So make of that what you will. Might not be the strongest plays at that point, but there is some other stuff I like that hasn't run. But yeah, over 6 here. There is some like -114, -118 if you shop around, but -120 is okay here. Again, FanDuel very sharp number 2 here at 6.5, -104.
All right, 6.5 -104 over on FanDuel. Chop around for that over 6. Let's flip over and talk the Anaheim and Nashville game. Alber, you like the Ducks at +120-ish, +118 at FanDuel, but there are a couple of 120s out there, some 122s as well. It seems to be the best price in market. Talk us through why you like the Ducks here facing the Predators.
Yeah, and I think the 118 is still fine. Moretto's talked a bunch about the Ducks. I don't think I need to go much into that. I like them. I liked them a lot last year for anyone who kind of watched the show at that point, and even a little bit the year before. I do think this ends up being a really good team. I think they end up getting a lot better the more they play, frankly. I'm just really low on Nashville, too, so I think this is kind of one of those really high on one team, really low on the other team. I'm going to like one side. So, yeah, to me, Anaheim, anything 110 and up, I like. Not a big fan of Nashville either.
All right, Alex, you like the total in this game, but again, another one that might have gone away from you just a hair. 6/115 is available at FanDuel. You liked the 6 when it was at 103. Is there anywhere that's still bettable for you for this 6?
The 115 at FanDuel is fine. I think there's potential for this to be like a really good number too. If I don't know if we've missed anything in the last 10 minutes, to be fair, but I don't think we have a goalie confirmation for Anaheim yet. I think there's a chance that it's Mrazek. Dostal started a few in a row here, so if it is Mrazek, this is a banger on the over. But yeah, I like the over regardless. Just like I have talked about how I like the Ducks quite a bit this year. I still think they're going to take some time to get their feet wet in Quenneville's new system, though. So like I'm not like dying to back them early on. In the meantime, they are kind of a mess defensively, and like the Preds are not much better at all in the back end. Both these teams are giving up a ton. They're generating plenty. I think this is going to be a very back and forth game between a couple of, I don't want to say not great teams because I do like Anaheim, but I don't think Anaheim's great yet. Like they're going to take some time, like I said, to get to that point. So still some sloppy sort of teams. I like the over even with Dostal in that if it does end up being Mrazek, this is a banger. So over 6 -115 at FanDuel is fine. One of the better, there's obviously slightly better out there, but like still one of the better prices in market there, that -115.
Quack Pack is on the Ducks here and the over for this game. Let's flip over and talk through the Kings, a bet that's still available for you. Not at FanDuel, unfortunately, because, I mean, FanDuel seems to be taking a stand on this game with the Kings and the Blues. Alex, you like, the Kings at around +115, 120-ish. Talk us through why you like that here.
Yeah, I'm not panicking on the Kings. I mean, like it hasn't looked pretty from a number standpoint, but they've had a pretty brutal schedule so far. I think their overall numbers are being dragged by like games against Carolina, Vegas, Colorado, stuff like that. Like really, really tough matchups, obviously, which they weren't necessarily that bad in. I think this team will be fine. They just need to start getting some saves. They've been really good in their road games too, where they kind of stick to their sort of defensive style that they like to play, that works for them so well. At home, they've been like, for some reason, trying to push the pace more, play offensively, and it's kind of backfired a little bit. I don't think they're quite built to play that way. So yeah, I like the Kings. I'm not worried about them. I think there are a lot of positives if you kind of dig deep enough here from their start, even though they've only got the 2 wins. But yeah, generally, like I do like this Blues team, but like the market is just so crazy high on them that I can't quite get behind this number. I think there's a decent amount of value here on the Kings.
All right, good value on the Kings here. You can find them as good as plus 119 out there, plus 106 at FanDuel. Seems maybe a little short, but widely available, plus 115. You can kind of go scoop those up pretty much anywhere. Your last play here, Alber, is on the Edmonton Oilers. You like them as road favorites here around that minus 120-ish mark, minus 128 at FanDuel. We've seen it come out a little bit, but there's some minus 123s, minus 125s. Talk us through why you like Edmonton in this game.
I just think the numbers come down too far, frankly, is what it was, down to minus 120. I know, and we need so money in here to get the Senators' side of this, because I have no doubt that he's part of that Senators move in this game. We can kind of get a flashback to last year there. I don't see it, especially without Brady Tkachuk. To me, like, obviously he's a great player. Like, that's just such a huge loss for them, I think. And I don't know that the market's pricing that in quite enough. I just think the Oilers are much better than the Senators. I thought 120 was short. I thought it was up around like, minus 135, minus 140 earlier. Thought that was a better price. So yeah, minus 120, minus 125, I still think is good here.
Okay.
And I think that might be a double best bet, actually.
Alex, is it a double best bet?
It is. So fade accordingly. That is a terrible omen typically for edge work. But yeah, I like the Oilers. I mean, it's only a matter of time before they turn it around. They do this every year. Wallman's back tonight. I do think that kind of flies under the radar and is a little bit significant for them, not just how he stabilizes the back end, where like Bouchard's obviously been struggling. Nurse hasn't been great. He is really like a stabilizing factor for them, but also what he's able to generate offensively. He really helps drive things from the back end. So that will be a massive boost for a team that has somehow struggled to create offense, especially with their top guys. They're going to figure it out. It's only a matter of time. Omar is a disaster right now. He cannot make saves. I just don't love how the Sens team is playing. And also the Sens on the PK have been terrible. So I think that's another opportunity here for the Oilers to kind of get the offense going and get that power play going against a Sens PK that literally is like, it's borderline unwatchable. Even the most biased of Sens fans on Twitter cannot find positives to take from this Sens penalty kill right now.
Yeah, double best bet here, like you guys mentioned. You guys both like Edmonton. And Alber, you were saying the Ottawa move was most likely on so money. Gotta imagine he's sitting in his chair watching this show and just like giddy as can be, knowing that you guys double best bet against him. Their last bet for you, Alex, is on the Colorado-Utah game. I don't think I'll ever get used to calling them the Mammoths. Avalanche versus Mammoths. Who wins in that, by the way? Can an Avalanche take out a Mammoth? Anyways, you like the total in this game. Total's at 6, minus 105. It's minus 115 over at FanDuel, but there's minus 101 out there, minus 105, a couple minus 110s at the 6. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I gonna keep betting these Avs unders. I've bet a number of them so far. I don't see any reason why we should stop here. They're just so good defensively. Wedgwood's playing great. Utah's also playing really well, especially on the back end, on home ice. I know now matchup wise, it's been pretty easy for them at home. Like they played Calgary, they played San Jose, they played Boston. So like, yeah, they're driving play, but the schedules obviously help that. But like they were very good in that season opener against Colorado too. So like this is obviously a step up, but like I think they're just fine against an Avs team that doesn't really care to go out there and play balls to the wall and try and put up 7-8 goals. They're just playing really sound hockey, and I think that plays into what Utah wants to do here. We got Vejmelka very likely at this point, at least. I think we'll get Wedgwood as well. I know we started every game so far, and there's like concern about like, do they want to give him a break? I don't think so. Blackwood's just about coming back to this team now. He'll be back in a game or two. So like, I don't think they're worried about running Wedgwood out a bunch early and like using a minor start when they don't need to. So I like the under here. I think stylistically it's going to be a very tight game, especially with Utah at home, be able to kind of control the matchups. So most of these prices that are available right now in market are good with me.
All right. Most of the prices are good here for the under of the 6 in the Mammoths Avalanche game. Let's quickly run through the games we didn't talk about. We don't really have bets on them. But while we do that, chat, drop your anytime goal scores. Maybe we can build out a little parlay here. Let's start with Seattle, Washington. Totals at 6. Washington -1.5 around -102 over at FanDuel. Alber, I'll start with you. Any opinion on this game?
Kraken or nothing. I'm not really close to either side of it. It's a big number here. I don't really have a whole lot on this one. I'm certainly not high on Seattle this year, so the fact I even think it's somewhat close to Seattle says it's probably not a bad play. I'm just not there.
Okay. Alex, any opinion here quickly?
No, but I do want to hear Jordan asked in the chat if we can get a pizza review from Alber. I do want that, and Charles wants a Ranger State of the Union, which I also kind of want to hear right now, given not only what Alber wore to the game last night, but he wore that and had to watch them lose. So I would love to hear his take on this Rangers team right now.
Okay, let's do one at a time here. Pizza review. The pizza was fantastic. Thanks for the pizza, Rob, and other people who I guess helped send the pizza. It was delicious. I don't know what to say. Did a good job with the pizza. Very good choice. I'm always down for more free pizza. If Rob ever wants to make fun of me on a stream or something, again, more than happy to oblige. State of the Union for the Rangers. It's October and they're playing well. And it's funny, like every year we talk about, the Rangers are playing like shit and they're somehow scoring and they're getting 980 save percentages and Igor's been fantastic and they're outplaying teams and they're losing. So it's like, I don't really know how to react to this one. It's something I've never dealt with before. It's like Carolina Hurricanes 2.0. Maybe not to that degree, but it's weird. I'm not worried about them. They'll be fine. Maybe if they play every game on the road, that'll solve it. I don't know. They look good. I don't really have any complaints. It's October. And the suspenders, so that was funny. I should have worn them on the show today. So I don't know. I think it was the second game of the year or something. They come down and they're like, so we got, I think it's 6 Centennial nights through the year because they're doing the 100-year anniversary thing. So they're like, so each one of these nights, we're going to give you guys something new to wear. We're like, all right, cool, whatever. So show up last night and they have like dress shirts and suspenders and bow ties and like old school hats and stuff. And they're like, we're all wearing this. And you should have seen like us putting these on at like 4:30 and trying to like skate in this shit and suspenders are popping off and all that kind of stuff. But no, it was funny. I mean, we look like idiots, but it was cool to do once in a while. And I'm very curious what we have kind of going the rest of the year with those, because I know there's now 5 others. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
We're just happy for the free clothes. That's all.
Add it to the pile behind him that's hidden right now.
Yeah. Potentially 5 new outfits coming his way too this year.
We're going to need Twitter updates on these pretty frequently whenever we have to wear them. So please.
We will send them around, and I'm sure Moretto will forward them as he did these other pictures from yesterday. And we'll get them going right. Yeah, as he sits there nodding. That picture, I think, went to him. And then all of a sudden, like within 15, 20 minutes probably, I'm getting texts from other people with a picture of myself that I took. I'm like, why are you?
No, it was 2 hours at least. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
When did you send that picture? When did you send that picture to Knish? Because it was probably like in the second period. I got a picture from Joey Knish, and it's nothing but 2 pictures that I sent to you. And I go,
I put in.
Why are you sending these?
I put it in the. I put it in the Circle Back group chat, the Telegram chat. But someone else sent a picture of you and the team first. That you sent to someone. So I was like, all right, this is free reign at this point. I'm just gonna start spamming the chat. So that's what I did.
Care less. Yeah, I could care less. I just thought it was funny. I was standing there and I just get I didn't talk to him in, I don't know, a couple of weeks. I just get a random text from Knish that's nothing but 2 pictures of myself. I'm like, do you think these are new to me and that I haven't seen them and or took them?
Oh man. Quickly before we get into the anytime goal parlay here, have you considered that you were the problem with the Rangers at home, Alber? Like you being on the ice and not doing a good enough job scraping it?
No, because I was not there when they got shut out in 2 of the 3 games, and I was there last night when they scored a goal.
Okay.
So I think I'm the solution, not the problem.
All right, makes sense.
Your aura's there. Your aura's there, and that's sometimes enough.
All right.
That's what you'd like to roll with. Sure, we can roll with the aura of me. That's fine.
All right, let's flip over to the chat and talk
And
about.
you know what? Most importantly, real quick, Jason. Most importantly, and I have to point this out, is we won the only game this year that mattered so far. We beat Montreal, so that's really what matters in the grand scheme of things, is being able to talk shit to Moretto.
Beating up on shittier teams is not always a great thing to be proud of, but hey, it is what it is. Proud of you guys for picking up that victory. Let's talk.
That shittier team is tied for first in the division. But anyways,
6 games in the season. Stop the count.
Score?
Stop the count. 6 games in the season. Anyways, let's hope the goaltending holds up here. Let's talk anytime goal scorers. We see these in the chat. You guys just give me I'm gonna need both Moretto and Alber. I'm gonna need both you guys to give me the thumbs up if we're gonna add this into the anytime goal play. I'm just gonna filter through, and you guys tell me yes or no. We got Marchand from Charles Saul. Yes or no? 1 confirmation. 2 confirmations. All right, we're gonna throw Marchand in there. Looks like we also have Snuggerud, anytime goal. Do we like that?
Okay.
Do you have the numbers there?
Plus 300.
That's actually a pretty good number.
Uh,
No, I like the Kings, so no. I'm going to say no, but I won't veto it. But
yeah, we don't
I'm
like
not on board.
All right, we're vetoing it then. Sorry about that. I think it was Legros B. Raquel, anytime goal plus 184 or better.
Yeah, sure.
We like it?
Yeah, we like the over. Yeah.
All right, we like the over in that. I'm trying to build this out on the fly as we go. What else we got here? We got Sam Reinhart, anytime goal plus 170.
No, we don't want.
We already have Marchand, so
Don't like that.
I do like from Kevin Phillips. I do like Protas to score though.
Okay,
They might score 8 tonight on Grubauer.
All right, Protas plus 250. We got 3 in there right now. Let's get to 5. Hines or Wyatt Johnston.
Wyatt.
Wyatt Johnston.
Yeah, Wyatt. He was in like every single one of
Wyatt.
All right. Basically never scored when we picked him.
Perfect. So he's not scoring.
We'll take him tonight.
All right. This is tonight's night. I'm the X factor that we need. And then finally Mason McTavish plus 270. Do we want to add that or do we want to keep it at 4?
No, I'm down for McTavish.
We like the Ducks. Good.
All right. Quack, 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 quack. We got Brad Marchand, Rickard Raquel, Alexei Protas, Wyatt Johnson, Mason McTavish. You combine all those together, you get 288 to 1. And that is the anytime goal parlay for today. Shout out to the Edgers in the chat. One's in the chat if you had a great time. Smash the like button on the way out. Alber, I know you got to head out here. Alex, appreciate you joining us. We'll chat soon.
See you guys.
All right. See you guys. That was fantastic stuff there. Not that brand of ketchup. Mike, what are you talking about? I don't get that. Anyways, appreciate the Edgers in the chat. Reminder, every Tuesday and Thursday you can be live here. Noon Eastern is when we go live, but around 1-ish is when we're going to have the Edgework segment on. I recommend you guys are in here for the whole show, but if not, at least come in here for the Edgework segment. And if you are only joining for the Edgework segment, the very least you can do is smash that like button for us. It goes a long way here. If this is your first time on the channel, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button as well if you really enjoyed this content. We are live Monday to Friday, noon Eastern time, throughout the entire week. You're not going to want to miss this. We cover every sport. Anything you want to talk about. Last week we were talking NASCAR, which was crazy stuff. So anyways, appreciate you guys. Let's look ahead to what we got coming up at the Hammer here. Today we have the Best Bets show coming up later today at 5 o'clock Eastern time, the Tuesday Best Bets with G-Sack George with Floop, No Lid, and Judah. Judah Fort Gang is going to be on that as well. And then tomorrow around 1 p.m. Eastern time, I think. We got life.
Tomorrow's Circles Off video is going to be a educational video from Rob, and on a conversation he had recently on one of the watch-alongs. That's what kind of motivated him to do that.
Love it. I like when Rob gets on the soapbox and talks through those videos because, like, obviously all the stuff we do is, like, I think we make good stuff, but like when Rob is really passionate about something and he speaks on it, it always comes out and generates to be like really good content, I find. So whenever there's the catalyst event for that, I think it's really beneficial for the channel and like for the viewers as well, because I think the stuff that we put out is fantastic. Anyways, let's look ahead to tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disappoint some people. Mr. Peanut Butter is out. We're gonna be talking college football regardless tomorrow, though. We got back-to-back NBA Pips, Kirk Evans. We're gonna be talking that massive NBA slate. Really looking forward to that. So if you want to bet on the NBA, which I recommend you do, it's a lot of fun. You're going to want to be there for tomorrow's show. And that wraps up today's show. Again, last time I asked, please do us a favor. Smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. And if you're new to the channel as well, hopefully you've stuck around for the entire hour and a half show and we've earned your subscription. Would mean a lot for us here. And I get the catch-up thing now in the chat. Rupe hints, not Heinz. I don't know. Something to do. Anyways, it is what it is. Appreciate you guys joining the show. This has been the October 21st edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys right here.